Okay, so the speaker has joined us, Mr. Ashish Sen. So, hi Bhaiya, can you please open up your uh, like camera? And we can also, the host, we can also open your mic. So I request the host also to open their mic and camera. And also I request Bhaiya.
Hello, am I audible?
Hi Bhaiya. Yeah,
Hello. Hi,
you are
Ronak.
audible.
How are you
So
doing?
welcome. Yeah, I'm doing very fine. So I guess uh, we have to wait for some more minutes so that more
Sure,
participants
sure.
can join. Till then, we can have an intro of yours. So I request Mansi to uh, like come over here and just brief about Bhaiya and his achievements. Hello.
Uh, uh, my camera is on. Am I visible?
Uh, I guess there's some network issue. Uh, okay, you can carry on forward, and after it you can you can just restart the teams. Maybe that can solve the issue. I guess there's some network issue from their side. Okay, so hi Via, I'm Rana Gupta. I'm from Mechanical Part 2. With me is Rahul Kumar Padi and Mansi Saigal. Mansi is from Electrical Part 2 and Rahul is from Sarat. So I guess both the hosts can introduce themselves. Rahul, can you please come forward and have a simple introduction?
Hi, Bhaiya. Good evening.
Good evening.
So today, I, Ronak, and Mansi will be the host for the session. And Bhaiya, we are waiting for some more minutes to join. More people will join us. Now it is 52 people we have joined till now. So, Bhaiya, we are thinking that we will conduct this session in two parts. First one is we have listed down some questions for Kate, and after that we can move to the audience question where they can ask directly and can put their questions in the chat. So, Mansi, you can now
Yeah, I can.
introduce Bhaiya.
So I welcome Mr. Ashish Sen Bhaiya, who is an ingenious alumnus of our institute IIT BHU, and he is an ex-Deloitte USI, and he has scored 99.99 percentile in CAT, and he's currently at IIM Bangalore. And myself, Mansi Sehgal, I am from Electrical Part 2 from Haridwar. And I hand over this to Ronak.
Glad to meet you, babes.
Ronak, your mic is mute.
I'm extremely sorry. I guess I'm sorry. I didn't saw it. So yeah. Uh, First of all, I would like to have a very heartiest congratulations for you to being admitted in such a prestigious college like an IIM. And as
Thank
Rahul
you.
has already said that like the session will be in two parts. First will be some basic doubts, and other will be audience question. And also in the audience question, there will be some questions which was like pre-asked from us in the Google Forms, which actually we floated.
Sure, sure.
So
Uh, just one thing before proceeding, can I know what is the mix of the years in the like students here? Like, are they second years primarily, or do we have third years and fourth years also?
we have
They
students
are
from
from,
all years,
yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't catch that.
every year.
Okay. Cool.
So anyone who is interested in CAT and stuff like management, they actually we invited them to join this.
Got it. Okay.
Uh, so yeah, like starting, I want to ask like, what was your journey till now, till getting into IIM and in between joining Deloitte and then leaving it. So what was your total journey till now in getting into IIM, and what are the obstacles that you faced? So can you please tell us out?
Sure. Okay. So I'll just give a little bit more about tell a little bit more about myself. So just like Mansi said, I'm from IIT BHU, batch of 2020. I was in the mechanical engineering department, and like unlike many of you probably, I was a total core enthusiast in my initial years, and I am extremely into automobiles and all those stuff. And during the later parts of my engineering, I developed a keen interest in business studies, and like I started exploring the fields of management, like through the subjects that we had. Right, mechanical people can probably relate that in the third year and fourth year we'll have subjects like operations research or supply chain management and all those things. So those things intrigued me a little bit more into the field of management. Unfortunately, like during the end of my studies, COVID struck, and my joining and all were delayed. So I had a lot of free time in my hand. So then I started exploring a little bit more about my interest. I was slated to join Deloitte in June actually, but the joining was postponed indefinitely. So I had a lot of free time on my hands. So randomly, we all got like Coursera access from our college. So I started doing random courses from Wharton, from like random stuff, University of Virginia, Darden School of Business. So that actually helped me develop my interest a little bit more. It gave me a glimpse of what management studies is. So then I thought of preparing for CAT and giving CAT since I had a lot of time on my hands, and I thought to utilize this COVID time efficiently. Yeah, yeah, I guess there was some disturbance. Okay, am I audible? I'm audible, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Bhaiya,
bhaiya,
you
you
are
are audible.
completely audible.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, that is when I actually started preparing for CAT, and fortunately, my job started in August. So I continued my preparation along with my job. That part was a little bit hectic because consulting. I was in the consulting division in Deloitte, and consulting is not a very easy job. So along with the 9-10 hours of work that I had to put in at Deloitte, I also had to continue with my preparation. The later part of it got a little bit taxing, but I was at home, so parents and all, their support was always there with me. And like I then came the doomsday, and I just attempted CAT as if it was another mock test which I was giving. And fortunately, I got a good score, and then I landed up at IIM Bangalore. So that's a very brief outline of my journey that I had.
Yes, yes, Bhaiya, that's nice. So, Bhaiya, it is like that. For CAT preparation, it is enough for the in the last year only that you are interested in core and you prepared in other stuffs and also you manage the CAT.
Yeah, I would say that if you have a decent enough aptitude, like I guess all of you would be like very great in aptitude, right? All of you cleared the joint entrance examination and studying in IIT BHU, right? So all of you have a very good aptitude in aptitude skills, right? So for people like us, I think that 1 year is sufficient to prepare for CAT. One caveat being that if your English skills or if your verbal skills are a little bit on the downside, then probably you can start working on that a bit in advance, like probably in your third year or so. So like can develop a little bit of reading skills, try to read the newspapers, develop some vocabulary, because verbal ability is not something that you can get in like 4, 5, 6 months of CAT preparation. So it actually hinges on the base that you have built over the years. So if that is something that you identify as your weakness, then probably you should start reading novels or books or newspapers from your third year itself, and that will help you a lot in your CAT preparation and in your life forward, because like communication skills is a very vital skill in today's corporate world. So yeah. if you're aiming to do management studies, then that is absolutely critical. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah, yeah. Then you handle the placements also. So you are preparing for analyst or in which profile?
So I was absolutely clear that I didn't want to be a software engineer. So I didn't apply at all for any software engineering type of roles. So the roles I was interested in were business development, product management, and like core roles. Okay, like I was an automobile enthusiast, so I applied for Jaguar, Bajaj, and all those automotive companies that came to our college. And along with that, as you all might know, like analyst companies, they generally test the aptitude, right? So my aptitude was decent. I just polished it up a little bit during my placement prep, and that landed me a job at Deloitte.
Yeah, that's great, Bhaiya, that you managed all the stuffs.
Yeah.
Bhaiya, can you give us some insights that how is the means the time you how you manage this stuffs like in the time of exams and it is the month of November that CAT exam is going on and in the December it is the placement sessions. So
Right.
it is very hectic, na?
So
And
for me, that was not the case actually, because I gave my proper CAT attempt after I graduated. So like I gave CAT in November before my placements, but that was not actually a serious attempt. Um, I just went in with peer pressure, and because all my wingmates were going for CAT, so I also went and gave CAT that as without any preparation. So I won't actually be the proper person to ask on how to like prepare for CAT along with placements, because I didn't do that actually. But from what I can think of, there'll be a lot of similarities between your analyst business development prep, and CAT, because both of them they test your quantitative skills and puzzles and all those things. So I guess you might be using time modules and all for preparing for quantitative aptitude, right? So your seniors might be using that. That's what we also used. So that will actually suffice for, like, if you prepare for CAT quant, it's more than enough for your placements. So that is something which people who were aiming for CAT in my batch used to do. And apart from that, like on time management, see, anyway, all of you guys have online classes, right? So
Yeah.
I you might, like, I know how online classes are, and like how many of you might be actually be like spending a lot of time on that. So you have ample time in your hands, so utilize your time properly, like schedule time for your placement prep and CAT prep. And honestly, CAT won't take up a lot of your time.
so, Bhaiya, you taken coaching or you prepared yourself only?
So for CAT, I didn't take any classroom coaching as such, but I enrolled for test series, because test series are a vital component of CAT preparation, right? So you need to gauge where you are at with the others who are actually preparing for CAT. So I enrolled for time test series and IMS test series, and both of them were really good. And like both of them have their differences. Time is a little bit more heavy on the quant side; it's more tougher, and IMS is a little bit more like how actual CAT. It's closer to the difficulty of CAT. So that gave me a proper mix of questions that I could attempt. And it also gave me a bit of variety in the questions that I was attempting, right? Because time questions, they always tend to be like in one dimension, right? So it'll have insanely tough quants, and uh, VRC and all will be a bit on the easier side. So having both time and IMS, they actually helped me like get a proper mix of questions. Given that I don't endorse any coaching as such, so feel free to explore whatever you feel right. And from my friends who gave CAT this year, I've heard that Krakow also has a really good test series, and they also have a really good classroom coaching program.
So, Bhaiya, what are the benefits if one takes coaching program or one does not enroll for a coaching?
Okay, so you need to first analyze if you need coaching by giving some mocks, right? So if you find that there are areas that there are lots of areas that you need improvement in, then and you need some help for that, then that is when you need to look for a proper coaching, proper classroom coaching. Else, if you find that you're doing decently well, like if you're scoring, like when you give a first mock, if you're scoring in the 90s, 90 percentiles or 80, above 85 percentiles, then probably then you can make do with self-study. There are lots of resources online, and there are lots of peer learning sites like pagalguy.com where CAT aspirants help out other CAT aspirants, and like even IIM students and all, they help out CAT aspirants in their preparation and all. They take mock interviews, they give tips on how to improve your scores and all those things. So Pagal Guy is one thing which helped me. Um, I won't be the best person to comment on how a classroom coaching can actually help a lot because I didn't opt for classroom coaching. But not having classroom coaching, that helps because it frees up a lot of your time. So you can actually utilize that time in self studies and preparation. So yeah, that's what worked for me better. So yeah.
Yeah. So, Bhaiya, is it there any benefit from engineering background in the MBA or anything?
So there is definitely a benefit in CAT because like all of you will have insanely good quant skills. So the QA section will be very easy, and LRDS section will also be relatively easier for you compared to commerce graduates or any other stream for that matter. But VARC might be a little bit on the difficult side. And again, diversity, you'll again lose out on diversity points because engineers don't get that diversity points. Yeah, since most people who are gems, they don't get a lot of diversity points. Coming on to actual management, some subjects that you learn actually help. Especially for mechanical engineers, you'll find that a lot of subjects that you learned in the OR section, operations management section, will actually come again in your management studies. So that helps a lot. You'll have a really good base, and that'll help you. I I'm not the best person to comment about other branches because I couldn't see any parallels there in MBA and their engineering studies. So yeah.
Bhaiya, you said somewhat diversity. Diversity, you said, na?
So yeah. So I guess I don't know how much you guys know about the scoring points for the scoring criteria for CAT, but there are diversity points given by uh, the CAT authorities for people who are not engineers and who are not males. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like when you said, is there any benefit of being an engineer? So here actually there is no benefit, but there is a negative point. So yeah, but it's okay because like most of the people in IIMs are engineers only. So irrespective of that, you'll end up scoring good and you'll end up in an IIM. So if I talk about my batch, there are 70% engineers. So chill out.
Yeah. So, Bhaiya, you are from good college that is IIT, and you may have good CPI also. So, is this makes some help in getting into IIM or getting into some good colleges through CAT exam?
So there is no extra score for your college. Like being an IIT doesn't help you as such in the percentiles or scores or whatever. But having a good CGPA definitely helps because that is one part of the scoring criteria. So I don't know how many of you know, but the CAT score that you get, it's just 30 or 40% of the overall score that is taken into consideration for your selection. After that, you'll have your 10 score, you'll have your 12 score, and you'll have your grad score. In addition to that, if you have any work cakes, that will also have an additional score. So there are these 4-5 components, and yeah, apart from that, there'll be a score for diversity points. So there are these 4-5 components which actually add on to make your cumulative score. So like having a good CG really helps. And if you guys are in a second year, please focus on your CG. Keep it above 9. Okay, try to keep it above 9 or at least above 8.5. So that will help you a lot, not only in getting to an IIM, but also in an IIM when you sit for your summer placements, that is your internships and all. Having a good CG definitely helps. You'll get really good shortlist if you have a good CG. Else, you'll have to struggle a little bit. But yeah, it's cool.
Focusing on academics now. So,
Yeah, you should. Like if you're looking for management studies, then you should like try to get a 9 at least. And I hope that'll be easier in the online world right now. So cool.
Yes, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, means that humanities studies we have humanities courses, na? Uh,
Yeah.
what about them? Like I heard that they help in some management tasks.
Uh, I I'm not really sure, but in that HULM that you have, if you take any M courses, then that will help. So I had an introduction. I had taken a course on introduction to industrial management. So that actually helped a little bit in my core MBA studies, not in cracking CAT as such, but that gave me a little bit of base. But apart from that, I also took the same course again as an departmental elective. So for since I was from mechanical engineering, right? So taking an M course definitely helps. Humanities course, I don't think so. I
So,
don't think that will help you anyway. So cool.
yeah, there is open electives beyond fifth semester. So means they help some you somewhere.
So open electives are electives from different departments, right? So the only thing that I can think of is chemical and mechanical departments might offer some management electives. So again, like if you take any electives that is relevant to management studies, then it'll help you. It'll make things easier for you while you're studying MBA. That's all. Like if you don't do it, also it doesn't matter actually a lot, because you'll anyway learn it. But if you know things, then you'll have an edge. That's all.
Yeah. Then Bhaiya means a good with a good profile that with these certificates and these courses you have done. So
Uh,
are they help?
courses won't actually directly help you as such. You can employ your learnings from the courses in interviews, in projects, or whatever. Like you can try to impress the interviews. You guys know, right, that after CAT there is an interview that happens before you're selected to an IIM, right? So there is a GDPI round, which is a group discussion and personal interview round. So in that, you can try to impress the interviewer with the knowledge that you have from the courses that you've learned. But the certificates in itself, they have no value. So if you're just doing courses just to like hold down certificates, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but they have no value.
Oh, nice way. So means having projects. Did you do done some projects regarding the management or analytics or
um, Not actually. I during my college years I focused more on core mechanical. So most of my projects were automotive focused, like either related to some electric vehicles or some battery pack cooling or some fuel injection systems or something like that. So I didn't have any projects as such which were management focused. But that is not a deal breaker as such. So like, see, you are studying in an engineering college, right? So if even the interviewers will understand that you were focusing on the thing that you have at hand, right? So that will also paint a good picture. So you can defend yourself by saying that I was focusing on what I have at hand. So that's exactly what I did in my interviews.
yeah, that's great. But if you want to suggest someone preparing for management or MBA, then should he go for which projects? You can suggest.
Which projects? Okay, so I know that people in mechanical engineering, again, I'm being too mechanical focused because I know things about mechanical. I don't know a lot about other branches, so sorry for that. Extremely sorry for that. But okay, so people in mechanical engineering, they can take some projects on operations research or yeah, scheduling and all those things. So like you have awesome profs like uh, I think AK, right? I forgot. Yeah, AK, and then yeah, you have really great props, right? I forgot the names, but because I didn't actually take uh, projects under those props, but a lot of my friends did, and they are in really good IIMs right now because their LORs and all also help. So if you're actually planning, people from mechanical engineering, if you're actually planning on doing an MBA from India or abroad, whatever, doing some projects under them might help uh, because their LORs hold value.
Yeah, so it is notable. Someone from mechanical should note that the search name and do the projects under them, get the LORs and get into IIM. So,
Not all IIMs require LORs though. IIM Bangalore requires LORs. Other IIMs don't require LOS.
Oh, means IIMs also have some different IIMs
Different, right?
focus on
Yes,
different
yeah.
things.
Application for all the IIMs are different. You might have to write SOPs. You might have to like get LOS from professors, from your workplace, and there'll be truckloads of pages that you'll be writing, essays that you'll be writing. So yeah, that is a different question altogether. So let's first
Yeah,
focus on CAT. First focus on
yes.
cracking CAT, and then any of you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to help any day.
Yeah, yeah, Bhaiya. So, Bhaiya, means you joined some clubs or councils in your college time. Does they help in getting into IIM?
So, from what I know, like your course club, your business club, and all these clubs, they help a lot. Like, um, many people from these clubs have been going into IIMs over the past few years, right? So, that might help. That being said, I was part of SAE, and like I did a lot of projects in SAE, and that actually helped in my building my resume and all, but not directly. Like they'll not have any direct impact on your MBA, right? So um, but just keep doing something because you'll have to show something that what did you do, like when the interview questions what did you do during your graduation. So you'll have to show that you were actively involved in clubs, you were actively involved in organizing committees like Technex or Kashyatra, or you organized XYZ events, right? So they'll ask you questions and you have to defend. So being active in any club or any organizing committee is recommended. It need not be a business club per se, but that'll also help you.
Oh, PORs,
Yeah, no,
POR
not
method.
directly. PORs won't help you directly a lot, but yeah, indirectly they'll help you. The learnings and all those things, and then you'll have points to talk about with your interviewers. So
Yeah, yeah, Bhaiya. So, Bhaiya, now can you give us the brief pattern of CAT, how the questions came from?
sure, okay. So I hope most of you know that there are three sections to CAT, right? There is a VR section, there is an LRDI section, and there is a quantitative aptitude section, right? So the preparation strategies for all three of them differ a lot. Okay, so I'll start with quant because that is the easiest for me. So for quant, there is a set syllabus. There are X number of chapters or X number of topics that are tested. Okay, around 23 to 25 topics that will be tested. If you cover those and if you are confident in those, you can get 100% in quant. No one can stop you from that. Okay. So what I did for that was I followed time modules. So they have these three sets of modules: Quant 1, Quant 2, and Quant 3. And I did the basics from all those. And then I started giving a lot of mocks. Okay, I'll come back to mocks later. I'll first go through the other sections also. Then comes LRDI. So LRDI, you need to have a little bit of base with puzzles and logical reasoning to get started on LRDI. So for that also you can there are tons of materials online. You can take time modules and all those things and get started with circular arrangements or blood relations or tournaments or things like those, right? So there are some questions like that which if you solve you'll get the base. But the questions in CAT, they'll actually be a mixture of 4 or 5 of these topics. So the questions in CAT are very different from those basic questions that the modules will actually have. So once you get a base of the the easy topics like arrangements or blood relations, then start solving previous year question papers, start solving your time question papers, VRC time LRDI question papers, IMS LRDI question papers, or any CAT prep sites LRDI question papers. So that is exactly how I practiced. I took aside like 10, 12 days and I just did LRDI for all those 12 days. Solved more than 15 sets, 15 papers of LRDI. So that actually gave me the confidence in LRDI. Coming on to QA, coming on to VRC. Again, as I said before, VRC is not something that can be done in 3 or 4 months. You can try to improve your VRC, but it helps if you have a good command over English, if you have a decent verbal aptitude, right? If not, please start reading books, please start reading newspapers well in advance. Like in your third year, start reading novels, start reading fiction non-fiction, whatever you want. Okay. And then what I did during my prep time was I used to solve 3 to 4 RCs per day. 3 to 4 RCs per day I used to solve, and I used to read some articles. So what actually happens is that in CAT, the articles that you get, they'll be from very weird topics like philosophy or biology, and all those things that you're not comfortable with, all those things that engineers are not comfortable with. Okay, so it's very difficult for you to read through it the first time. So I started reading articles from philosophy, from history, from biology, and all these things, one article per day. So that made me a little bit more comfortable in reading these articles. And that is how I went ahead with my VRC prep. And this phase 2 of your prep, after getting acquainted with all these sections, is mocks. So mocks are a very crucial part of your prep, right? So it is the backbone of your prep. So you have to be very regular in giving mocks and try to analyze what went wrong. So in mocks, you will also get the rankings where you stand, like where you stand with respect to others. And again, you're giving a timed test. So even if you're able to solve everything correctly in an untimed test, you have to see what you're doing in a timed test. Are you succumbing to the time pressure, or are you having any difficulty in solving like 20 questions in 1 hour or 25 questions in 1 hour, right? So that actually gives you the feel of CAT. And once you give a lot of mocks, then again, like just as it was for me, CAT will just be another mock for you. You won't have that anxiety on CAT day. So mocks are a very crucial part, and properly giving mocks is actually the backbone to giving a successful CAT. Oh, okay, so I've spoken for long. Any questions?
So actually, it resembles a lot to the JE. Yeah,
JE was more hectic, I'll say.
yeah.
CAT
I
is
mean,
a lot easier.
lot easier. I mean, it resembles a lot more. As you said, that
Yeah,
mocks are a very crucial part of the whole preparation.
right. But the syllabus for JE was very, very vast, and for CAT, I feel it's probably 1/10 of the syllabus for JE, because the only limited syllabus that you have is quant. Apart from that, it's based on your practice. So in that sense, it's different, very different.
Yes.
So, Bhaiya, I wanted to ask how one can prepare for personal interview.
Personal interviews, right? Okay. So in personal interviews, what is tested is your GK, the current affairs and all happening around you. Then your resolve on why do you want to do an MBA, right? So that is something that they scrutinize a lot. They cross question you a lot on why do you want to do an MBA. You did an engineering, and now why are you coming to a management, coming to do a management degree, right? So that is another thing. Then they question you a lot on, okay, you guys don't have WorkX, so you won't get questions on WorkX. Uh, Apart from that, IIM Calcutta, they rigorously question you on mathematics. So that is something that they do. Apart from that, yeah, IIM A questions you a lot on ethics and all those things. So yeah, there are different things that different IIMs actually test. IIM B interview will solely be on your SOP that you write. So you'll write a 2-page long SOP for your before your interview, and they'll question you on your SOP. So yeah, these are the things that you need to be aware of, and general knowledge and general awareness is one crucial part of that.
And what other factors come into play for getting a call from?
Okay, your CAT score, your 10th, 12th percentages, and your CGPA, and that's the main part. Apart from that, there are some things which are not in your hands, like diversity points and all those things, but don't focus on that. So if you guys are in your second year, focus on your CGPA.
And what percentile is enough to get a call from
It depends for different IITs, and again, like you can't say for sure that if you get this percentile, you get a call from all IIMs. I have a friend who got 99.99 but still didn't get a call from IIM Bangalore. So it depends on your overall profile also a lot. I have friends who are batchmates of mine who got a call and are admitted with 97 percentiles. So general engineering candidates. So Can't say for sure. It depends on your luck and your overall profile. So yeah.
I would also like to request the audience, if anybody has any doubt, you can just unmute your mic and ask.
Good evening there.
Hello. There is a little bit of a disturbance.
Where is it clear now?
Yeah. Hi. This is Anurag, right? Or
No,
Arpit?
sir. Sure then.
Okay. I can't see. Okay,
Where
cool.
I have a doubt regarding the decision that when did you came to the point that you have decided that I have to do a management degree, like from which year, or you have this dream from the start?
So I always had an inclination for management related stuff from my first year itself, but I was more inclined to the mechanical core part, specifically due to automobiles. And like, so I started out exploring that field when I was in college. But then looking at the lack of opportunities that we had in our college and the lack of opportunities post placement that this sector itself had, I decided to switch, decided to focus a little bit more on the management side in my fourth year, like from my fourth year onwards. So yeah,
Where I have
that's
same situation, like I have a inclination or have a craze towards the management degree or management type of things, but yet not sure about that to do it or not.
so. Harsh, which year are you in?
Be a second.
Second year, right? So right now, like focus on your CATs primary thing, okay? Because if you have a good CGPA, that really helps you and management studies at least. And apart from that, try reading business articles and getting like acquainted with the world of business, right? You can, as I said, there are a lot of courses on Coursera and all, wherein you can actually try out things like financial accounting. You can try manage different management courses on like operations management, many things that you can try doing. So just go through those courses, see if those things intrigue you, and if your interest still holds after third year, in third year you can start, like after third year you can start properly preparing for CAT.
One thing I would like to mention, like a lot of ours, I mean, a lot of attendees here, they are actually not so comfortable to open mics. So I request them to post their doubts in the chat box, and later like, we will request Priya to, you know, just read those out also. And like, I will also like want to like to hold the doubt session for a while, because there are also some of the genuine questions that are left. So
Sure,
like, I want to go through them first, and then we will have a doubt session.
sure.
So some of the questions are like, how should one prepare for the personal interview? I guess this was addressed.
Yeah, so personal interview preparations actually they come a lot later, right? So I don't think it's something that you should start worrying about right now itself, considering that most of you are in a second year. I think first you guys should focus more on cracking CAT, and like one thing that you can probably do is engage in projects, do something in your college that you can actually show and you're proud of, right? Like um, being a category head or events lead or convener, co-convener of Technex or Kashiyatra or any fest, or you held a fest, started a new event, or you were the joint secretary of or secretary of any club committee, or you did some awesome projects. So have something to show in your college life that will actually help a lot. Apart from that, focus on academics, really. Nothing much that you can do now itself. The main personal interview preparation will come after you crack CAT. So there are a uh, coaching institutes that will actually guide you on how to prep on in a focused manner for personal interview. So yeah.
One of the majorly asked question was in the goal form was like, is there any scholarship provided by the IIMs, because the fees are quite high with respect to a middle class family.
Yeah, the fees are really high, but the thing being that there are scholarships, but they're not very like they're not very big. Like there'll be like 2 lakh, 3 lakh scholarships and all those things. IIM Bangalore does, give a merit scholarship to the top 25 students, of like a scholarship of 2 lakhs per year. But again, one thing that I'll say is, if you get into an IIM, you'll get a loan. You'll get a loan from SBI or any bank, right? At very cheap rate. So I'm currently starting on a loan with 5.75% interest, right? And that's very cheap in today's rate, right? So, and all of you will land awesome jobs after graduating from an IIM. Okay, and you don't have to give any collateral for the loan and not anything for that loan. So yeah, you can easily study on a loan and repay it. So don't look a lot for scholarships and all, because there aren't any significant scholarships.
Yeah. And another question which was majorly asked, like, how did you tackle quant part? Because some of the people actually face some difficulty regarding the quant part.
Got it. Okay. So what I did, as I said, was first I set the base by completing the modules. I picked up the time module. Like, you can pick up any coaching module. So I picked up the time module because that was something that I had handy with me. And I completed the entire module. Okay, like I did one chapter in a day. So there were around 26, 25, 26 chapters, if I'm not wrong. Then I took one chapter in a day, and in a month I completed the booklet. So that gave me a base of what all questions I can expect, right? So it solved my fundamentals. It set a base. Post that, I gave a lot of quant sectional tests. So giving that actually helps you like face that time pressure, and within that, see, it lets you gauge if you are making any mistakes because of the time pressure, right? Because of the pressure that you're in while you're giving an exam. So that is where generally mistakes happen. The mistakes that generally happen in most people is silly mistakes or careless mistakes, that
Yes.
you miss some numbers, or you wrote some number somewhere, and because of it being messy, you like you take something else. So all these things, they'll be solved while you actually give your mocks. And if your problem is with fundamentals, then the only thing that I can say is practice a lot. Okay, there are a lot of platforms, a lot of online YouTube videos which give you tutorials on like how to solve a specific topic, right? If you are stuck in, let's say, geometry, there are tons of um, like tutorial videos for geometry. And again, you don't need to score full in quant, right? If you're not comfortable, you just look at the weightage of each topic in the past papers, right? If you look at that, not a lot of people are comfortable in geometry, including me. So geometry is one thing that I left it towards the end, because I knew that not more than one question or two question will come from geometry. But I was confident that in that time I'll be able to like attempt two other questions with a good accuracy. So that is something that you'll do in the later parts of your preparation. So if you have any specific doubts on specific issues that you're facing in quant, then probably I can address that. Else, this is what I did.
Yeah, if you don't mind, we can share your LinkedIn handle also in the chat box, and
Sure, sure,
one preparing for the CAT can ask you and reach you out for the.
sure.
Yeah. Another question which was like, I mean, frequently asked was like, do internships help in the selection I am? And also, what according to you is the ideal way to build up a good profile?
Okay, so internships, come scholarships like DadWise, MyTax, all these things help a lot, because they are actually a silver lining on your resume. And again, if you don't have any of those scholarships and all, then just having a normal intern wherein you could talk about something, like if you there are many of my friends who actually interned in IIMs and all, under a prof, right? Did some management intern and all those things. So that will like again give you a talking point in your personal interview, and that will actually help if you are able to defend whatever you're saying. In CAT, on a direct basis, I don't think it will have any impact.
Yeah. And there's another nice question. I don't know it's formal, informal. But the question is like, is it worth doing 2 years of MBA, whereas others getting coding job and would be earning during that time, and also
So
increasing their corporate experience?
That was not a very valid question for me because I hated coding. I was very clear that I didn't want to get into a software role. So not exactly applicable to me. But for me, the best way to boost my career was doing an MBA, and that was giving me a very, very, very incremental boost. Like, gave me really good hikes and all. Like, if I when I pass out. So considering the interns that I have, so yeah, that was a very good decision for me. On the software part, I would like to tell you that in my batchmates, we have people from our own college who worked in Goldman Sachs for 3 years and then came to do an MBA. There are people from IIT Bombay in my batch who worked in Microsoft for 4 years and then came to do an MBA. So it's not a lot about the ROI on all those things, but it's more about what you want to do. Like, do you want to do an MBA? Is coding the thing that you want to do throughout your life? Right? Is it sustainable for you in the long run? Do you enjoy coding that you'll be able to do it for 40 years or 30 years, whatever, like till whenever you work, right? So that is one question that you have to answer yourself. And apart from that, say I'm not exactly sure because I haven't done the calculations or anything for coding peeps. So I'll leave that upon you guys.
Okay. There's
What to
another
answer
question.
in why MBA?
Sorry.
Yeah.
What to answer for why MBA? Why one should pursue MBA?
Okay. She's
Why
asking
one
for the
should
PI round.
Okay, so why should one pursue MBA, right? Cool. So, see, first of all, it gives you a very uh, good knowledge about the entire business world, right? So, after a point in your career, most of you will be managing things, right? You'll stop doing the actual ground level work that you'll be doing when you graduate, and after a point you'll be people managers, you will be managing projects, you'll be managing teams and all. So that will give you doing an MBA will give you a lot of insight into all of those things, right? So I myself, after starting, I have just been 2 terms into my MBA, right? So, and I have learned a lot of things which I took to be granted before this while I was working in Deloitte, right? So I don't think how much you guys will be able to appreciate this since you guys are like still in college, but once you start working, you'll and then when you come to an MBA, you'll see a drastic change in the level of knowledge that you have, in the level of awareness that you have, right? So that is one thing. The second thing is obviously the career boost that you'll get, right? So from what I've heard, I'm not 100% sure, the growth in the analysts or the growth in the software industry, they plateau a lot after 28, 30. Like the growth will be very slow, right? Now you'll have huge increments, and after a point it'll plateau a lot. But managers, they'll go on to grow till 36, 37 years, right? So that is another thing. And then a lot of these managers, they go on to like become CXOs of many companies and all those things. You'll learn about entrepreneurship and all those things. So there are various reasons for doing an MBA, and you have to find your reason for doing an MBA. Why do you want to do an MBA? So for me, the reason personally was like I felt the need, I felt the gap that I had with. I was in Deloitte, right? So there were consultants who were from MBA college, IIMs, and like FMS and all, who were above me. So I felt the gap in my knowledge level and their knowledge level, and like I knew that it would take me a lot of time to get up to their speed, at least 3 4 years to get up to their speed, right? So I felt MBA to be an easy option for that. Along with that, it will also give me a career boost, and plus I wanted to learn more about management. I was interested in management. That was my reasons for doing an MBA. So the reasons for doing an MBA for everyone is different, and you have to find your reason for doing an MBA. It might be a change in domain, it might be a change in uh, just a break. Like there are people with 6 years of work ex who come here just to chill out for 2 years, just to experience college life. So yeah, there are many things that people, the different reasons that people have. So Hope that answered your question.
Yeah. And there's another question which was asked very much frequently, like how to choose between sitting for campus placement and between like preparing for CAT and getting into an MBA.
I'll say don't choose. Sit for your campus placements. Along with that, prep for CAT. Okay. Like however, like if I'd give your max, give your best, and prepare for CAT as much as you can. If not, get your placements and then appear for CAT again. Because CAT is something which you can give next year and you can give the year after that. And it'll only boost your profile, right? Like WorkX will actually increase the chances of getting into an IIM. So, but placements is not something that you can do again and again. So don't play with your placements. Focus on placements. Along with that, prep for CAT. Or if you are very fixated on doing an MBA right out of college, only then give your 100% to CAT. Or if you have a PPO, then go ahead, enjoy.
And like, did you also prepare for the GMAT and the entrance exam for the XLRIs?
I didn't actually prep for GMAT. I am not the right person to ask about GMAT, and I didn't give that also. So CAT was my only thing. Like for me, it was IIM ABC or nothing. So yeah. Else, my plan was to continue in Deloitte for a year again, and then give CAT again if I didn't crack ABC.
Yeah. Someone was asking like, is Arun Sharma's book is good for beginners? I don't know much about it.
For beginners,
Yeah.
it's good. You can start prep from that, but then after a point, it gets very boring. So don't stay fixated on it for long, else you'll be bored of CAT prep. So and move on from that to any coaching modules or anything like that.
And any book to start preparation, like regarding some specific subjects.
Sorry,
Some fourth year IITs was asking like any book suggestions regarding some specific subjects for the preparation of CAT,
subjects like
uh, like quant, DLR. I mean, they are asking for
so.
some book suggestions.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, Arun Sharma is a really good book for to start with for beginners for quant and LRDI. LRDI is actually good for Arun Sharma. And apart from that, I honestly I didn't use any books as such. I uh, referred to the materials that I had, which were time modules, and I was active on Pagal Guy. So there are tons of free materials available on Pagal Guy, which being the past year question papers of time and IMS and all those things. So what better material to practice from than previously set question papers? So that's what I preferred.
Yeah, great. As you said earlier, some companies actually requires an MBA degree to get a promotions. So
Right.
what are your comments upon that?
Comments. I I don't know what exactly do you want me to say in that. If your question can be a little bit more clearer on that.
Like, I mean, some of the companies actually do require to like pursue an MBA to have a greater promotion. So this actually makes necessary for some workers to actually pursue MBA from a good college.
So if you don't
And
want to do an MBA, then switch jobs. Be happy. But if you want to do an MBA, then yeah, cool. Go ahead, prep for CAT, and like you'll get a good promotion. You'll get a really good hike, and there'll be n number of opportunities waiting for you in IIMs and after IIMs. And yeah, again, you'll meet a lot of awesome people here with whom you'll probably like start some new venture or like just like in IIT BHU, you meet a lot of great people, right? A lot of talented, like-minded people. So here it's the next level, right? So you'll meet a lot of brilliant peeps and you'll make a lot of connections. Uh, yeah, networking is one really good part about being in an MBA college. And yeah, I don't know what else to say in this question actually.
okay, some of the guys are actually raising their hand. Nikhil
Sure,
Garg,
please go ahead.
Nikhil Garg, do you have any question?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, hi Nikhil.
Hello, good evening, Bhaiya.
Good evening.
Myself, I am from Mathematics and Computing Part 2.
Okay.
So I want to ask about particularly the verbal ability section, like how you practice for passages, because I have appeared for some mock tests of CATs. So in quant section, I have never struggled a lot, just one or two questions which are tough and time consuming, so I leave them. But
Great.
in DLR, I am able to solve most of the questions, DI and LR part. And but in passages, like the actual score, positive score which I get, half of it gets reduced due to the negative score.
Got it.
And I do a lot of mistakes in passages specifically. So how to improve on that?
So can you elaborate a little bit more about your attempts in VARC? Like, are you facing issues in completing the section, or are you facing issues with your accuracy rate?
Accuracy rate is in order to attempt more questions, accuracy rate gets affected. But if you try to be very conservative and not do mistakes, so then the number of attempts becomes really less. So I
Got it.
attempt questions, but some questions are like mm, he asked for interpretation of the last sentence of particular paragraph. So most of the
Right.
seem to be same kind, and you can't differentiate easily between them. So such kind of
Got it.
problems I face most of the times.
Got it. So, Nikhil, I'll tell you what I did. Okay, when I was facing the same issue, I used to score very low in VARC, even though my verbal aptitude was decent, right? I had good scores in GRE and all. So what I did was I identified that the main issue that I had was with understanding the passage, right? That is because the topic of the passages, they were not appealing to me. They were not. I was not comfortable with reading something about philosophy or history, right? I used to get bored in between, and like I used to lose concentration on and focus in that article, right? So what I did, as I said before, I started reading more articles from philosophy, biology, anything which I'm not comfortable with, right? Geography, philosophy, history, politics, anything which I'm not comfortable with, right? So that got me a little bit more acquainted to the writing style in all these topics. So as you might have experienced, the writing style in scientific articles are very different from the writing style in philosophy and history and all. So reading more articles from those domains will actually help you understand what the author is trying to say in the passage that you get in CAT. And apart from that, it will also help you understand what to answer, what is the apt answer, what is the meaning which is hidden beneath the lines when you are asked a question in CAT. Okay, so being comfortable with the topic is one very good advantage that you can develop since you're in the second year. You have a lot of time, so don't just focus on scientific articles and all those things when you read. If you have a decently good reading speed, and like just get out of your comfort zone, start reading some non-fiction. Start reading some non-fiction, some articles on philosophy. So I actually found that there's a website called aeon.co. They have beautiful articles on all these weird stuff that engineers are very engineers don't find comfortable, right? On philosophy, history, and all those things. So I used to read one article from that website daily. It's, mind you, it's a very long article. It'll take you around 25 to 30 minutes to read an article, but keep at it and you'll develop that comfort with these articles, and then it'll become easier for you. So this is one thing which I found why I was getting a lot of negatives. In addition to that, again, developing a reading speed and attempting more can help.
Another doubt is 100 is by Meera Joshi.
Wait.
Hi, Mia.
Hi, Meera.
Okay.
So I wanted to know, like, what is the difference if one does MBA just after the graduation or like after working for some years and then attempting?
That's actually a very good question, Meera. So that's something that a lot of us actually grapple with. That's a huge question. Okay. So I'll tell you the differences in CAT as such, getting into IIMs as such, and then the difference after getting into IIMs. Okay. So on the first part, you lose out on work ex points. Right. There are significant points for work experience if and that will give you an edge if you have some experience, right? So you lose out on that. Second thing, you'll also lose out on uh, topics that you can talk with or you can connect with in the interviews with the professors and all. If you have workex, it becomes a lot easier to talk with the professors and all, right? Because they'll also know some of the things that are happening, and they won't be very acquainted with the projects and all that you might be doing, right? So they'll be management people, and you might be in electrical or chemical, and they don't know shit about like they don't remember things about.
Mm, right.
So that will help. And now post getting IIM, so two things: placement wise, getting an experience. I'll because there's a lot of distance.
Yeah, you are not audible because someone else is on mute and it's disturbing it.
Yeah, I guess there's some noise from there. I request I mean those from the from whose side the noise is coming, please mute your mic.
Yeah, now I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so was I audible or should I repeat a little bit?
A little back to what you were
Cool.
saying.
And like
So
just one more.
got it. So um, in terms of getting into an IIM, so there are two things. One is the extra point that you get due to the workers that you have. Second thing is the topics of conversation that you'll have with the interviewer, right? So these things will actually help you in getting into an IIM. And the next part is like post getting into an IIM. So one thing I really felt that having workex makes you appreciate the things that are being taught in class. So you'll have a different dimension, like you'll have real life experience and you'll have things that you can relate with, the examples that professors take or the case studies that we do. So you'll have things that you can relate with if you have workex. And the second thing is about placements. So if you don't have workex, then the domains that you can get into are a bit limited. So it will be very difficult for you to get you won't get a general management role or a product management role. Like it's very difficult if you're a fresher. The roles that you will be getting will be marketing roles, or if you have a really good CGPA and a lot of good achievements, then consulting roles. And if you have good CATs, then finance roles. So if you're looking to get into finance or marketing, then doing an MBA right after college will be a really good shot, because if you have more than 2 years of work ex, then you won't get marketing roles and you won't get finance roles. So yeah, there is a trade-off there. I hope I was able to answer your question, Mira.
Just another like dumb question.
Josh,
So, like, do management people also do coding later on, like when they're doing management, or is it just the management stuff?
okay, so I can tell about my college. So in IIM Bangalore, apart from the traditional management line, there is also a course called postgraduate program in business analytics, which is a hybrid of an analytics course with an MBA, right? So due to that, there are lots of electives and lots of courses that involve like topics like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and coding and all those things. So in those specific courses, you might use coding like Python, or like or some you might use some data retrieving softwares and all, or you might use SQLs and all those things. But apart from that, if you stay clear of those electives, then you don't need coding. But again, like if you are looking to be an entrepreneur, then probably coding definitely helps.
Also in the job, is it the same?
A post MBA job, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, post MBA jobs.
I am not 100% sure because I'm still studying. But from what I know, you don't use coding. You have
Okay,
engineers who will code for you. You just need to give them a direction.
okay, okay.
Nikhil, I guess some of your doubts
Thank you
got
so
left.
much.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are audible.
So yeah, like I am highly interested in finance. So earlier, since I am from mathematics and computing, so earlier I was not sure like what stuff to read for finance. So actually, it was quantitative finance, which I am most interested in. So, but I was not clear of the roadmap. So I started reading about all those courses which you mentioned of Wharton University. So I have done all those courses about financial accounting and apart from that, investment related courses and risk management also. So I want to know like how can a finance like and finance enthusiast convince those interview panel that he wants to secure or get an admission in management profile.
Okay. So, Nikhil, first of all, which year are you in? Second year?
Second year.
Cool, cool. So, okay. So, fine for finance peeps, I have 3 points. So, the first thing is that your GPA matters. Okay. So, the shortlist that you'll get, assuming that you'll also want a finance role after your MBA, the shortlist that you'll get depends a lot on your GPA. So you should have at least an 8.5 or more. The second thing is that you can do things like CFA and all. Since you're just in your second year, you have a lot of time in your hands. So you can clear CFA level 1 and level 2 at least. So you have more than 2 years, I guess. So yeah, you have ample time to clear CFA level 1 and 2. So having that actually bolsters your pitch that you want to you're deeply interested in finance and you want to um, like dive more into the world of finance while doing an MBA, so that it will be easier to convince the panel in interview panel that you deserve a shot. Apart from that, the third thing which I wanted to say was internships. So in your second year and in your third year, like okay, I don't think third year, I don't know if you can do finance interns and all those things, but at least in your second year you can do an unofficial intern with any finance firms, or you can do an intern with any IIM profs. Like I have a lot of friends who did interns in IIMs while we were in college, right? IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, and all those things. So and considering that you guys are doing your college online, you have ample time at your hands. You can do remote internships. So if you have things like that, it'll actually it'll actually boost your profile, and you'll be able to convince the panelists that you actually want to you're sorted and you have a vision and you want to get into finance, and MBA is a roadmap for that. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Priya.
Okay, so there's a I guess Anurag Jain has raised his hand. Yeah, Mr. Anurag Jain.
There is some noise coming from someone.
Yeah,
Can
I'm also. I guess
please?
it's
Hello, Bhaiya.
from.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Hello.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
this is right.
Hello. Yes. I just wanted to ask a question, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, this is not a prep question. This is just about an interest. Bhaiya, as this link was given to the freshers also, so I just gave my advance, and now I came to an IIT. But like my parents told me, like after 4 years, you should give an MBA. Like it's important for your growth and important for growth in a job. Like you'll not get stagnant for a long time. And also you're from an IIT, so it might help you in MBA also. So what should be my plan to find my interest towards business studies as I am in my first year only?
Okay, you're in a first year. Chill
Yes,
out,
sir.
man. Don't
Hmm.
worry a lot. First of all, enjoy your college and like explore the things that are there in college. I'll actually say this for second years also, but since most of you are from second years, so cool. Okay, so apart from that, what you can probably do is like explore the clubs that you have. You have really great business clubs. Like in my time, it was really great. I don't know how it is right now. I hope it will be even better. So you have really great business clubs. You have club of sustainability and innovation, who like actually they help you grow, right? And you have the Cisco incubator wherein you can actually make a team and start your own startup and all those things. So apart from that, you have the Hull Prize and many other competitions, right? So these are some places where you can try out. Like being in an engineering college, you don't have anything to lose, right? You being in that cocoon, you can actually explore the world of management, and you can see if you strike a spark, like if you are actually interested in management, right? So these are some risk free things that you can actually do. And again, I don't actually agree with that. Your parents say that after 4 years you have to go to an MBA. It actually depends on your interest. Like, matlab, if you are not sure whether you want to do an MBA, go do some work. Like work for 2 years, 3 years. Whenever you find that you feel the need for an MBA, only then go for an MBA. Else, it should not be that I have many friends who came to engineering just because their parents told to do engineering. So it should not be like that. And it will be an expensive gamble because IIMs cost you north of 23 lakhs. So it will be a very expensive game to play also. So
But that will be worth the money, right?
it will be worth the money, but again, your happiness also depends upon whether you're liking the thing or not. Because the money doesn't come without effort. So you'll be putting in time and you'll be putting in effort post your MBA. So along with that comes lucrative rewards, very lucrative rewards. So yeah.
Okay, Bhaiya.
So
Thank you, Bhaiya.
just to give like an idea about the rewards, there are friends of mine in finance who got interns with north of 3 lakhs per month in India itself. So just imagine.
Okay. Okay.
I guess Bhaiya has addressed your question. Then it's Mr. Sandeep Krishna.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Hi Sandeep.
Uh, this no, not a standard question for CAT as such, but I wanted to ask if we uh, get into IIM or any some top elite business school. So should we go for startups after MBA or should we go for the placement to be on the safe side? Because we are missing
I
out on college
I am
placements
actually
and MBA
figuring that
placements.
out. I'm figuring that out. Like you're talking post MBA, right? So I'm still figuring
Yes,
that
yes.
out.
Okay.
I'm still in my first year, so I'm not in a position to answer that. As I myself, I'm still figuring that out.
But do you think are you ready to risk your campus placement for a startup?
Depends on the opportunity, bro. So if you have that confidence and if you have that much of uh, like drive and then probably why not? Because there's an opportunity cost involved with every decision that you make. So if you have a great idea right now, do you think that no one will think of that idea for the next 2 years? What is the probability that that idea will remain a nascent idea in the next 2 years? It's very less, right? Considering the population of India and the amount of geniuses that we have in India. So it's a very it's a question that even I don't have the answer to.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Okay. So Abhishek Singh, you raise your hand.
Hi, Bhaiya.
Hi Abhishek.
Bhaiya, actually, I'm sophomore at mechanical engineering,
Okay.
and
Uh,
I wanted to ask that I do have interest in mechanical engineering, but again, due to online semester, we don't have a very uh, a structured class things. So my interest is somewhat losing in mechanical engineering. So how do you think it will affect getting in IIMs, let's say from PIA perspective, and then let's say during summer placements?
So if your interest is waning in mechanical engineering, then you should have an interest in something else. Don't sit idle.
Management.
Yeah, if you have interest in management, so work on that. Okay, you should have something. I have tons of friends who didn't prep even a little bit of mechanical before the PI because they were confident that they could answer anything about like their work experience or anything about the projects that they worked on, right? So just focus on developing your interests. You can brush up the basics of mechanical before the personal interviews easily within 15 days or 20 days. Okay, they won't ask you very difficult questions like questions asked in GATE. They'll ask you very simple questions, and even if you don't answer, it's not a deal breaker. They'll look at you as an entire package. So if they find something else that is worth like that is worth taking in, so then they'll accept you. So don't worry about that.
We have one more
Just
question.
that don't stay idle. Yeah, go on,
Okay,
Abhishek.
So one more question. Do you mind sharing which company you'll be joining for your interns? Just for
I'm actually not supposed to do that. I'm really sorry.
Okay. No problem. Next question is even you would agree on this that majority of the opportunities, especially in the internship period at IIT BHU, will be more focusing on your, let's say, SD profile, which though even I'm not interested, but again, due to parental pressure, we have to do something for internship. And getting an intern apart from an SD roles is very, very difficult, especially in IIT
Okay.
BHU,
Yeah.
and might be
And
true for other IITs as well. So do you think we should prepare for it, or we should let it go? Because even I'm not at all interested in SD, but I think I can go. Well, I don't want to go, but what should be the strategy then?
so, Abhishek, that's a very personal call to take, and I am not in a position to take that call. Okay, so I had the same problem, but I didn't have parental pressure as such. My parents were pretty chill about all these things. They let me do whatever I want, like take care of your own career. So I didn't have parental pressure. So I didn't want. See, I was not bad at coding. I was good at coding. I used to code before college actually. Yeah, I used to code a lot before college, but then I grew tired of that. Then I that's why I didn't want to get into a coding intern or a coding job. So I just prepared for analytics and core, and I knew that I would make it somewhere, like because dude, you're from one of the top IITs in India, right? So you'll make it into a good job, and then post that you work for some time, you'll find out what you actually want. If you want to pursue management studies, then you can pursue that. And as I said, it's not that if you prepare for software SDEs, then you won't do an MBA, right? There are tons of people from in my college who had SDE roles, right? So as I said, there is a person from Microsoft who worked for 4 years in Microsoft after graduating in CSC from IIT Bombay. Okay, so AIR 50 types. So yeah, so yeah, we have some gods amongst us, and there are people from our college who worked in Goldman Sachs. There are people who worked in Nvidia, uh, tons of companies, right? Like whatever company you can think of, whatever top-notch companies you can think of, SD, non-SD. We had people from Amazon, Flipkart. Yeah, there's a long list. Okay, so you can do an MBA whenever you want. Okay, being an SD uh, will not forbid you from doing an MBA. And again, like SD will open up new roles for you. You can be it'll make your journey to be a product manager for a PM role a lot easier. It's easier for
Will
SD
you say
peeps.
same thing for, let's say, who wish to get into general management consulting roles post MBA?
I'm not exactly sure about that. Um, SD, I don't have enough sample size to take a decision on that.
So will it make more sense to do a project in, let's say, in whatever field you are interested, rather than going for SD intern roles in IIT?
Uh, okay. In I see. I'll say one thing. So intern, it's okay, right? If you're not landing a desired intern of a choice, you can probably like ditch it. Yeah, but don't play with your placements. Get a good job, because like getting a job out of campus, it's not that easy, and you get the best jobs and you get the best companies that visit in your campus, right? So in during your placements, if you find that you're not getting a really good um, analytics role, prep for SD also, like just to be safe. Okay, and then you can take an SD role also. So yeah, don't play with your placements. That is one thing that I'll say.
So you'd suggest to go for any of the roles, let it be SD, even if you wish to go for general management consulting roles.
It doesn't matter a lot. Like I've seen people from various domains get into general management. Consulting it doesn't depend a lot on your work ex. It depends more on your acads and the spikes that you have in your resume. Spikes being like any achievements that you have, like any national rank or any tournament winner, case competition winner, or anything like that. And for consulting roles, especially for the mega top three of consulting, you need 999, like a 9 CGPA plus, 90% plus in 10th and 12th. And yeah, that's all.
Abhay, just last
And
question.
spikes.
Won't
Yeah,
disturb you
sure.
more. How much do you
No
think
worries.
how much do you think there would be advantages slash disadvantage being from IIT BHU rather than from Old 5?
Sorry.
How much do you think it will be advantageous or disadvantageous being from IIT BHU rather than from being from Old 5? Right.
Nothing. No difference at all. वो भी यहीं पे है, हम भी यहीं पे है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Like I'm not sure on this, but you'll know better on this. But I have heard people usually from Old 5, get more into general consulting roles.
I'll disagree on that because a lot of my friends, okay, who are into consulting, I'm actually into a consulting role. So who are into consulting with me are not from top 5 IITs. There are people from NITs also, like top NITs like NIT Suratkal, NIT Warangal, and all those things, who have landed a really good consulting job. So I don't think IIT BHU will be disadvantaged in any manner, but the IIT tag will definitely help in getting a consulting role, like in getting good shortlist. IIT tag actually helps in shortlist.
Okay, thank you so much.
I haven't found the IIT BHU tag to be a disadvantage anywhere, because all of the alumni that I knew from IIT BHU, like who are studying with me, have landed really great jobs, really great jobs.
That would be a
Thank you.
great motivation for all of us.
Yeah. And in general, I haven't seen IIT folks struggling in IIMs.
So, like, there's another hand raised from Arunanshu Sinha.
Hello, Bhaiya. This is Arunanshu here.
Hi,
Actually, I'm in
Arunash.
my yes. Actually, currently I'm in my first year, and it's been just 1 month since the classes have begun. So I'm just trying to wrap around all the possibilities that can happen after graduating and stuff like that. So my question is that what are the basic differences in pursuing an MBA from India versus US, apart from the obvious like the culture and everything, the price difference and everything? So, what is the main basic difference? And also, I've come across these schools of thought that MBA is actually not required if you want to be an entrepreneur, which I'm pretty much sure that 99% of the chances is that I will be an entrepreneur in some sense or the other. So, is
Cool.
that beneficial in that direction? So, that is my question.
So I'll take a first question first.
Yeah.
So differences in MBA from India and abroad. Okay. So the first and foremost difference is that doing an MBA from abroad will require work. You'll have to work for at least 3 years. Okay, 2 years if you get it, then it will be really great. You're an exceptional student, but it'll require at least 3 years of work to get into a good college for an MBA abroad. And the pedagogy of MBA abroad is very different. Okay, it's not the same as what you have in the IIMs in India, right?
Is
Apart
it
from
better
that,
or
it's different is what I'll say, because the people it's catered to the audience. So there, since you have a minimum work ex criteria of 2 years, 3 years, so the people there will be much more experienced. The average work ex there will be 5 years, 5.5 years or something like that. So
right?
you'll have people there with 10 years of work ex, 12 years of work ex doing an MBA along with you. But in IIMs,
Right. Right.
in IIM B, the average work ex is 2.3 years or something like that. In IIM Calcutta, it's actually 1.2 years. So the syllabus has to cater to the audience, right? So it's very different. So here you'll get an entry level, uh, like sort of viewpoint into the corporate world. There, they'll assume that you know the basics, and they'll go on to the next level. They'll prepare you to become CXOs directly. So that is
Okay.
different, and the cost is very high.
Of course.
I
That is
suppose
obviously
you
the case. And
guys will know that. Third thing is
yeah, yeah.
that there is no placements. Like there is no placements as such in colleges abroad. Here you're sure of a placement. There is some sort of a guarantee that you'll be placed, because there is a placement committee and which works round the clock to get you placed. There you don't have anything called campus placements. You have to find a job on your own. So, and again,
Right.
like from what I've heard, the tag of the college there doesn't matter a lot. It's more on your interview and how you crack your interview. So you'll have to actually focus a lot on studies and your MBA and all those things, which you will, given that you are paying crores of rupees on an MBA. So you will focus on classes. So cool. That's all I know. Like my knowledge about MBA abroad is pretty limited. So
All right. So most
And
of
how
like
are
you
their
must be
entrance
having friends who
tests?
Please one at a time. Anshu, you continue, then I will get to the
Yeah,
moving on.
I was saying that you must be having a lot of friends abroad who are pursuing MBA there. So, what was their career trajectory? Like they did some work and then they went abroad and then they plan to join some company, or like I'm asking this because I want to be an entrepreneur. So, which would be better? Like pursuing
so
an MBA abroad would be better?
Arunanshu, on your second question, which you had asked earlier, so to be an entrepreneur, you don't need an MBA. That is true. Okay, you have
Right.
a lot of like opportunities in IIT BHU itself, which can make you an entrepreneur. Right? You have Cisco Incubator and all those things. Like you have a CSI club. Sorry, excuse me.
Right.
Yeah. So you have ample opportunities to try out your entrepreneurial skills while you are like in
In
college
college.
itself,
Yeah.
right? And then if you feel that you need more, okay, and you need more networks, you need more knowledge, then
Mm.
IIMs definitely help because
A similar
the
group of people.
incubations, yeah, you'll find intellectually very high level people. Okay, sometimes you get intimidated by
Yeah.
those people. So at that level, so yeah, you'll find really good partners for your ventures. You'll find people who will stay with you for all these things, and again, you'll find alumni. The alumni base of IIMs is insane,
Mhm.
right? Okay,
All
you
right.
yeah, you'll have ex entrepreneurs and all those things. So yeah, and it'll be easier for you to get fundings and all. There'll be incubation centers and all those things.
Mhm.
About entrepreneurship with MBA abroad, I'm really not sure because I didn't evaluate that option a lot. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
better ask
basically, I
someone.
just have to,
And I don't have
yeah,
a considering that I passed out in 2020, I don't have a lot of friends who are pursuing MBA. I don't have friends who are pursuing MBA abroad at all. So those who are
okay,
pursuing
okay.
management studies are doing an MIM because, as I said, you need minimum 2 years of work ex to do an MBA
Mm-hmm.
abroad.
Okay,
Yeah,
Arunanshu, for the time being, let us move. I will move
yeah, yeah,
forward to
sure.
the other person because
Thank you,
there
sir.
are a lot of persons in line. So, Srinivas Bhardwaj.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Hi, Srinivas.
Bhaiya, I am Srinivas from fourth year electrical. So actually, I have hold some PORs, but they are not very appealing. As well as I was not involved in many extracurriculars. So will it
Okay.
be a massive negative point for me because I want to pursue MBA through IIM?
Okay, so Srinivas, just some questions before I answer your question. Are you in a dual degree program or are you passing out this year?
So I am passing out this.
Great. So did you give CAT?
I don't know, Bhaiya. This time I didn't get.
Cool. Okay. So okay. So the thing is that the level of your POR depends on how well you frame it, right? So you don't need to be the convener of TechNext to have an impact with your POR. Okay. So
Okay.
you can bring depth into your POR by elaborating more on the things that you actually did. And again, now I hope you will be going to a workplace, right? So since you didn't get CAT this year, so try to get some leadership role there. And again, your work ex will help a lot. PRs are not musts. Okay, it's not a must to get into IIMs. It helps in summer placements and all that is there. But it's not a must to get into IIMs and all. So again, I'll discourage you from thinking about the past and like what you could have done better and all those things. Don't look over that. Try to like improve what you can right now. You have at least 1 year of work before you'll get into an IIM, right? So get something done in that time and like get some great roles and all those things. And again, as I said before, your POS strength depends on how well you frame it and how well you portray it.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Okay, Paranjay Garg.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Hi, Paranjay.
You had a job in consulting field, so I just wanted to ask, like, how much does it really help in personal interview or GD as compared to if you have a job in software development?
Okay, I don't know how to do that comparison thing because I only worked in consulting. So for me, it really helped because the things that I really the things that I was working on, the panelists were aware of those things. So I could actually interact a lot, get into the depths of the things that I was working on, and I could impress the interviewers. But I won't be able to tell you about the other side of like software engineering because I don't have any experience with that. Can only have either a job in consulting or a software engineering, and you can't have both. So
Okay,
yeah,
Bhaiya.
I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you, Bhaiya.
Uh, so, like, yeah, I want to apologize for like we have just crossed the time limit of the 7:30. So if you don't have any problem, we can also have the further questions.
Yeah, I guess we can go on for around 10 minutes ish. I'll be cool.
Yeah, sure. So Umang Agarwal.
Hello here. I am a first year student here from metallurgical branch.
Hi, Umang.
Hello, Bhaiya. I have some interest in consulting and finance, and so I want to ask: is it a better option to first uh, prepare for CFA or FRM at our fourth year, then go for MBA after some work experience, or directly prepare for CAT first?
So I'll say if you're actually interested in finance, give your CFA in a second year itself. There are batchmates of mine who did that. Like give your CFA in level 1 in second year, give your level 2 in let's say the second semester, even semester of your third year, and then you can like give a CFA level 3 whenever you want, and you'll be a charter holder.
Bhaiya,
Like, huh?
but I checked the eligibility when we can give on the website of it. It is written that the minimum eligibility for first level is fourth year, final year of graduation and all.
I'm not really sure about that because I have a friend of mine who gave CFA level 1 in in my second year. Like you can search out Naman Jain on LinkedIn. Uh, he was my batchmate and he gave CFA level 1 while we were in the second year. He cleared CFA level 1 while in the second year. So I don't know if the rules have changed and all those things. And for any CFA questions, you can probably directly contact him on LinkedIn because I didn't give CFA.
So,
So
by
yeah.
so yeah, will it help in my job related in consulting field, on the campus placement from IIT BHU?
In consulting campus placements, I'm not really sure if it will help a lot. It might help in firms like Deloitte and all, because they also look at your like they also have financial services and all those things, right? So they might put you into something of that sort. But I'm not really sure about how that might help. But I'll suggest that you connect with Naman Jain on LinkedIn. He's also mechanical engineering batch of 2020 grad, and he'll guide you with any CFA FRM questions because he has cleared CFA level 2 and he's also an FRM level 2, I guess. Not really sure. But yeah, definitely level 1. And he was working with me in Deloitte.
And we have one last question: that how we can build a career in consulting? For me, if I'm a first year student, start how to start. I don't know how to start even.
Okay. So you're just 1 month into college. So first of all, explore the college, chill out a little bit. Just clear JE. Okay. Stressing on this because after a point, you won't get time to chill out. Okay. You'll be working, you'll be grinding, and you won't get that free time anymore. The first 2 years of college are the best years of college. Okay. Apart from that,
But
on
yeah,
what you
but
actually
still
can
we are
do,
not getting.
yeah, I feel really sorry for you. I
Yeah,
feel really sorry for you guys.
It's okay.
there are
Yeah,
some things which are not in control of us.
yeah. Just try to make the max of the opportunities that you have, right? So yeah, there are pros also, cons also. So the pros being that you can simultaneously do internships and all when you're in third year. You don't have to wait for your term break to do a remote internship or anything like that. And yeah, there are other obvious advantages of an online class which I wouldn't want to say here, but take care. Cool. um, on how you can get into a consult role, right? So first thing that is very important in a consult role is your communication skills, because you'll be dealing directly with clients. So me being a fresher, in my first project itself, I had to interact directly with clients from US, right? So communication skills is a definite must if you are looking for a consult role. And for that matter, everyone that Deloitte hired in my year, there were 7 of us who were hired, had awesome communication skills. So more than your GPA, more than your aptitude skills, they looked at communication skills. Then apart from that, a little bit of like logical aptitude helps a lot. So solving puzzles and all those things, and solving a little bit of cases and guesstimates and puzzles, all those things really help. But I don't think you'll have to do a lot right now itself to get into a consult role. What can help is that you might um, um, look at some competitions and all, case competitions and all, which are held by other IITs, other IIMs, or try to participate in that, get a feel of what consulting is. Yeah, that's all I have to say. You don't have to worry a lot, Ray. Chill out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't hear you, Monk.
Yeah, I guess he was grateful to you. Let us move to the last person. I mean, the only hand this is now raised is now. Sayan Goswami.
Oh, hi Bhaiya. I'm
Hi,
Shayan from
sir.
Thank
fresh
you,
from architecture
Bhaiya.
department. So I have interest in economics. So will IIM be the best option, or do we have brighter bulbs in the box?
Uh, I am probably not the best person to answer on that, because I, my interest was not in that side. So probably there might be other options that can be better for you, like an MBA abroad, or like doing a master's from um, some of the prominent colleges of in economics in Europe and all those things. I'll suggest that you connect with some of my batchmates who, like Swapnil or Naman, who were more interested in finance and economics, because I am not that inclined in this area. So
Okay.
I am not the right person to answer this. Sorry.
And the second option, that I don't have a BTech. My degree is BArch. Will that be a disadvantage
Sorry,
in our this?
I can't hear you, Sam.
He
Okay.
said that his degree is not in BTech, but it's in B-Arc architecture.
So will that be a disadvantage, or will that not be a major issue?
B arc will actually be an advantage for you in terms of diversity
Okay.
points. So chill out, bro.
Thanks.
Just focus on CAT, because you're
Okay.
not you're like an architectural thing, right? So it's a
Yes.
diversity point for it's
Okay.
architecture, right? Like B arc.
Ah.
When
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
there, it wasn't there. When did this start?
It started like last 3 years. It started in something in 2019, I guess. This
19. Okay.
department.
Cool. Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you,
so
Bhai.
with that, I guess we are at the end of the session. And thank you, Bhaiya, for your precious time and enlightening us with your proficient knowledge. We are very much grateful that you give us some such wonderful tips related to the Acing CAT experience.
Thank you. I'll be available if you guys have any more questions on LinkedIn. I might be a little bit late to respond because I don't check my LinkedIn often, but just post something there in DM, and then probably I'll give you my WhatsApp number. Then we can chat if you have any more questions. Cool.
Yeah,
It's interacting with you guys. So
Bhaiya. I request you all I request all the attendees to please fill the feedback form. And yeah, thank you, Bhaiya. It was a great session with you.
can drop right. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, bye. So all the attendees who are left, please fill the feedback form. It's in the chat box, and I also put the LinkedIn profile of the Bhaiya. So if anyone has any further doubts regarding anything, they can just ping out in the Bhaiya's LinkedIn handle.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I have
Thank you.
not open chat box.
You don't have you don't have the access of chat box. Let me see.
No,
What's
no,
your
we
name?
do not.
Rahul, I guess first yearites don't have the access of chat box, is it?
Same is for me. I am also not able to access that work.
Okay, fine. I guess first yearites are not able to open the chat box. There is some, yeah, first yearites are. I don't know why. It's from institute side. Then, okay, fine. The bhaiya's name was Ashish Sen. So, like anyone who wants to ask any further doubts can just type the name of Ashish Sen, and like I guess the first result that pop out in the chat, the search box will be like the Ashish Sen bhaiya who was recently here. So yeah, you can ping him there. And regarding feedback form, it's okay. We will circulate in the WhatsApp also. So yeah, you all guys can leave now. राहुल राहुल मानसी का क्या हुआ? वो बीच में लीव कर दी थी।